everyone, and welcome back. Now, I'm really excited about this video because I've had a lot of people question me, saying that the one thing they just can't beat is Matchlock Warrior Monk campers. And I understand that. It seems like a very hard prospect because once you move your guys into range, they just get mowed down and they rout. And so I see why that can be hard. But once you know how to do it, it's actually very easy. So I will be showing you how to do that right here, right now. Okay, this is a large setup. I've got my standard large setup Katana Corps. I have 6 Katana Samurai, all veterans, 3 Yari Samurai, which are now all veterans after this battle, and 4 Yari Cavalry. Over on the other side, oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Matchlock Warrior Monks, a Yari Hero, 2 Naginata Warrior Monks, and a Fire Rocket unit. He also will have a Yari and a Katana Cavalry coming out of hiding soon. So, obviously, no matter what army I was facing, I'm all alone on this side, so I will send my army to capture these 2 buildings. So, another thing I really want to do in this video is really illustrate how to screen an infantry advance, because that's how you win against Matchlock Warrior Monks, and I do a really good job of doing that, so hopefully this will be the prime example of how to do that. Right, so here we are moving. I'll triple speed because there's a lot of just nothing here in the beginning of me figuring out strategy and stuff like that. But notice what I'm doing here. When I'm capturing both of the buildings, who do I send to get the far one? The Yari Samurai. Now you want to send Yari to capture the far buildings. Why? Because if cavalry come out of ambush and hit you, there's no better unit to take that than Yari Samurai. So send your spears to capture these faraway buildings that might have a cavalry ambush. He's going to go over here and get the shrine. Not like it's going to matter. Okay, so let's look at this guy's setup a little bit. He wisely brings fire rockets. Now a lot of people, including this guy, end up using them wrong. Fire rockets are anti-cavalry units. They do next to nothing against infantry, but they can destroy cavalry in one volley. So that's how you want to use them. So it's a good thing to bring if you're matchlock camping. I hate to give advice to matchlock campers, but it's a good unit because it can scare off cavalry, and you don't get any cavalry cheap shots coming in and messing you up. But you don't want to send your cavalry in first against a matchlock camper. No, that's not how you do it. You got to screen the infantry advance. And I will show you how to do that. But first, oh right, I forgot to mention these. 2 Bo Ashigaru, both veterans. 4 Chevron. Let's see, what are their upgrades? Both reload speed and then 1 damage and 1 accuracy. I think the damage is better to get than accuracy. On the other bow units, accuracy is probably better because their bows do enough damage as it is. But Bo Ashigaru have really weak bows, so they can really use the damage upgrade. Okay, so here he is shooting his fire rockets. Note where I'm going to put my general. When I was doing the control groups, there was a weird glitch where my general got put with my bows. So you'll see him move up with the bows. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But I noticed it was happening, and I got him back. So I'm going to take my general, and I'm going to put him way back here behind the tree line, just to guard against cheap shots. They destroy cavalry, and they can kill a general unit in 1 shot. I mean, these guys are dangerous. You have to be careful if the enemy has fire rockets, because he will waste your cavalry, no problem. So my general's going to get mixed up here. I'm going to be like, wait, what the heck? What is my general doing here? And I will move him back shortly. I was really, really scared at this point, because if he got cheap shotted, I would have been so pissed. This is my first battle, actually, against a Matchlock Warrior Monk army. But I already knew what to do because I fought other missile-heavy armies, and it's basically the same thing, only it's more important that you're synchronized and have a very organized charge because the Matchlocks will punish you if it's not. Also, the thing about Matchlock Monk armies is you can really use the terrain to your advantage like no other army. Matchlocks have to shoot in a straight line, so if you can use hills to your advantage, you could potentially be untouched as you reach their lines. And I'm going to do that with my Bo Ashigaru. I'm going to put him eventually right here, just behind this little hill, and it's just enough of a hill to be out of sight of the Matchlocks, and they're not going to take hardly any damage from the Matchlocks or the fire rockets. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm thinking, well, I've got the ranged advantage. Kind of funny me saying that when all I have is 2 Bo Ashigarus versus 7 Matchlock Warrior Monks. But the range advantage is in my favor because they have the longer range, so I can skirmish well. Now, Matchlock Warrior Monks do have an ability that gives them longer range, but it's not toggleable. It's an activated ability, and you can only use it every once in a while. So if you get him to use it early, you can just pull back. See, look at this. Look at all these monks that fired. How many of my Ashigaru died? 0. That's right. Terrain is deadly for Matchlock Warrior Monks. Any kind of Matchlock unit. They just can't shoot over hills. They can't arc like bows. So look at Fire Rockets just tearing into my Ashigaru. But I've only lost 9 men. They're really bad against infantry. I mean, they barely do anything. So use your infantry to absorb those shots. I'm told by a friend that they only have enough ammunition for 5 shots per man. I can't confirm that, but I'll take his word for it, and if I take his word for it, then you all should too. So 5 shots per man. So kind of judge it and make sure they don't have any ammo left to kill your cavalry. Try and get him to use them up early. So he's going to move up, try and answer, but he can't really because of the range. I'm just going to pull back and just keep skirmishing. He's still shooting, and I'm still not losing any men. That's right, haven't lost a single man. He's taken 2 volleys from like 3 units. Not a man dead. The only losses here have been to fire rockets, pretty much. And I've only lost 14 men in all that action. No big deal. So I'll fast forward because it's just me pulling back, skirmishing. So you want to skirmish these Matchlock armies. Just whittle them down as much as possible. If they're Matchlock warrior monks, they don't have any armor hardly, and you can just tear into them. Look, this one's down to 57 men just from taking those Bow Ashigaru shots. And it's good to bring Bow Ashigaru for things like this instead of Matchlock warrior monks. And why is that? Or excuse me, bow warrior monks. So why would you do that? Well, Ashigaru have a ton of ammunition, and bow warrior monks really don't have that many. I never ran out of ammo until I started using bow warrior monks, because they can run out really fast. Bow Ashigaru do not, however. So they can just keep skirmishing all day long, killing Matchlock warrior monks who have no armor. So I'm also going to try and move up and kill his fire rockets. That's what I'm doing right here. I'm just trying to get close enough just to get off one volley, and fire rockets don't have any armor either, so you can really crush them with a good volley too. So luckily my guys were wavering this whole time, but they never routed, thankfully. And look, this hill, look at all these shots flying right over him. No problem. So I'm going to get off a nice volley into the fire rockets, kill 8 of them. And that will be about the end of their usefulness. I think he was out of ammo at this point. So there goes another volley, only lost 3 men. I mean, look at this angle. It's not a very good shooting angle. Use the terrain to your advantage if you can against a Matchlock warrior monk army. Normally they'll put themselves on top of a hill, so you won't really have that option. But if it's there, I mean, even if you have to walk all the way around and take a lot of time, be patient. If you have a camper, be patient. You have plenty of time. So this is when he's going to use his cavalry, just to chase off my bows. I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to guard him and conserve as much as possible, because the more people I can kill with skirmishing, the better. That's when I'm going to move my Yari Samurai up. They have finished taking the workshops. Now I own both the attack and defense buildings, so you know that once I close the distance, I am going to tear these guys to pieces. And that's what you have to do. When you have these ranged heavy armies, the most important thing is to close the distance and engage every single bow unit just to get them to stop shooting, especially if they're Matchlock units, because they can get lucky shots off your general, and he almost did. He got a volley off of my general right near the end that killed about 8 men, and if he had killed the general, I might have lost. So tie down the infantry units. Stop them from shooting, even if you might lose, like sending a weak cavalry into it and they get obliterated. You just want to hold them down as long as possible until the infantry line gives out, or something, or until you can just clean them up. So his cavalry's going to get a nice charge into my bows. Not going to kill a ton. They'll both be down to like 80 or so after this action. But my Yari are going to be right there to cover for him. Unfortunately, these are both veteran units. They must have some defensive upgrades, because the only casualties he takes are 5 Yari cavalry, and his katanas are totally fine. So kind of got gypped there. Didn't kill as many as I wanted, but crisis averted, so no big deal. My bows are going to rout, but they will come back and then inexplicably just shatter. Well, not inexplicably. It was because the bow warrior monks appeared out of the trees, and they saw them materialize, and suddenly they were more scary now, and they shattered. So there they are. Yeah, they're wavering now. They're back. Wavering, but they're under the control. So I'm going to get one last-ditch effort of skirmishing. I'll triple speed it. And there they go. See, they just appeared in the woods, and they shattered. They were like, nope, we're not going there. Even though they had just been skirmishing and nailing them, now suddenly it's so scary. So, very important thing, like I said, when you're attacking a Matchlock warrior monk camper, you have to have a good angle of attack. First thing you need to secure. Find the best route to him. I picked this way because there are these kind of hills here. Up to this point, there's no really good shots they can have. So my infantry is covered all the way up to this point right here. And from then on, they'll get off 1 volley maximum before they close the distance. So I'm just going to move, so I'm going to triple speed it. So, okay, I keep talking about screening an infantry advance. And in other videos, I've shown me doing that. But this, I think, is the prime example of exactly how you want to do it, especially against a Matchlock camper who's going to have a very strong missile attack, and you really need that guy to screen it. So I think, okay, who's going to be the sacrifice? Well, it would have been Bow Ashigaru, but, well, they're gone. So who else is going to be? I decided it was definitely going to be Yari Samurai. They're the most useless in melee against infantry, and with only 2 cavalry units, his cavalry is not a huge threat to me. I will be able to use my spears to cut him off, because I'm really good with spear use and spear micromanagement. So I'm going to use the Yari Samurai to screen the infantry. So here he is right in front of the infantry. Keep him close. You want to close the distance as soon as possible when he starts taking missile fire. Don't put him too far behind, because if they rout and run off before you close the distance, he'll have more time to tear into you. So look how close these infantry lines are. So here I go on the attack. I get him while he's moving. It's a good time to attack a matchlock camper, because they can't shoot when they're moving. So go now. And they're going to be running. Double time. Let's close that distance. Here come the Yari Samurai to take the fire for the rest of the team. My general's now moving up. The fire rockets seem like they're out of the battle. So let's take a look at these shots. Lost 3 men. Let's watch this guy as he goes up into melee. All that fire. Only lost... Okay, now he's down to 20. Or he's down 20. So he is sitting at 89. 88. Now they're all shooting into him, because you don't have time really to individually order them. So he's just going to shoot everybody into this Yari Samurai, and bam. Using the terrain, they only got off like 1 volley before he got there, at least a good one. So they still have 77 men left when they close the distance. And I spread them out really wide, and why is that? So they hit as many units as they can. So when he spread out wide, he's going to be able to tie down these 3 Matchlock warrior monks. Just get them in melee so they stop shooting. So at that point, I individually order my katanas to attack 1 Matchlock monk per katana, because just tie him down. Just tie him down. Make it so they're not shooting. That's what you have to do. Stop them from shooting. Stop the fire, because that's what's going to kill you. That's when my cavalry came out from hiding finally, and they're going to move up and slam into this side. And look, you think go for the general, right? And I did. But the first thing I want to do is get off a good charge, tie down the matchlocks, buy some more time for my katanas. And now all my katanas, pretty much, have closed the distance. That's when he's going to send his cavalry in. Not a bad time, but look, my spears are right here. My 2 veteran Yari Samurai who are going to use the advanced rapidly skill and cut off the cavalry and cut them down. This katana is lagging behind. He'll be there shortly. That is when I run and kill the general. Of course, I don't kill him, because he's one of those uber generals that just won't die. They kill a couple though. Nice charge there, killing 4, but then they just kind of suck in melee. So look, I'm tying down his entire force. Screen with the Yari Samurai, use the terrain to make him get off bad shots. I mean, look at the dead bodies. Where did they start shooting? When they were like around here maybe? Look where the first deaths are, and look how close they are to the enemy line. So if you can, I realize that most of the time you're fighting a matchlock camper, you won't have a nice little hill advantage, but be sure to zoom in front of his lines and look for those hills that you can't really see. If you're zoomed out like this, it looks pretty flat, right? But if you zoom in front of his lines, you can pick out just those subtle little hills that you can use to cover your infantry advance. Send a scapegoat unit, one that you're not going to need, at least not as much as the others. Spread them out as wide as you can, and hit the matchlocks so they tie down as many as you could. Like that 1 Yari Samurai tied down 3 matchlock warrior monks, and so they were not shooting anymore. Then individually order your katanas, or whoever you're using, to hit the matchlock warrior monks, and just tie them down so they're not shooting anymore. So at this point, the battle lines are joined. I have a huge infantry advantage. He does have a Yari hero, but other than that, he has no infantry. I mean, he has matchlock warrior monks, which suck in melee. I mean, they're not completely helpless, because they still are warrior monks, but they're not going to stand up to katana samurai, let alone veteran katana samurai. So all you have to do is just close that distance, screen with the infantry, make sure you don't get shot up, and you can win. It's actually pretty easy. I mean, look at this. We're just going to just mow him down. And with his general so far away, I mean, that's a pretty amateurish mistake, and most people probably won't do that. But they're going to be wavering all over. But here, look. This is when this matchlock monk gets disengaged. And so now they're going to be able to fire. And he's going to get off a good shot that's going to hit my general unit. Luckily, my general himself won't die. But that was scary for me. I could still lose the battle at this point if my general got shot by a lucky shot. So I'm going to have to be very careful. Remember to keep your eyes on all the matchlocks. Make sure they're all tied down. Let's see where his infantry is. Right here in the middle, I think, because they got the war cry. Yeah, his infantry's all bunched up in the middle. So I'm going to overwhelm this flank here, and then I'm just going to collapse in. Cavalry is pulling back to retreat. All my cavalry, in fact, is going to regroup behind the infantry and make a nice little charge. So there's the shot. His matchlock warrior monk is now shooting. They haven't hit my general yet, but they will. Everybody is just a melee fight. I guess I'll kind of zoom in a little bit, maybe get a little cinematic thing going on here. So here we go. Just tear those monks apart. But nothing really tactical happens at this point. It's just me mowing him down. So here I am. Just cut down those warrior monks. Katana samurai will beat warrior monks almost every time. See, there's that shot. Let's check out my general. Yeah, he's in grave danger. But he's not going to take too many casualties. Take a couple. But I don't want him to die, so I run him out of there. We have wavering all over. Their general's, of course, still alive, but he has joined the melee fight, so he will be cut down shortly. So I can't stress this enough. Just a nice infantry screen, attack from a good angle, where you have hills to cover you, and use that sacrifice. I mean, don't be afraid to sacrifice units. A lot of people seem really afraid to do that, and they don't like throwing units away, basically to die. But it's better than your whole army, so know when to sacrifice. It's a very, very useful thing to do sometimes. That Yari Samurai, glorious sacrifice. You will see them set them right. Yeah, look how long they lasted. I mean, they just now routed. Look how close they are still to the battle line. Glorious. Even the ones that routed will be remembered as brave warriors. It takes a lot of balls to walk into a Matchlock warrior monk line like that, but I'm so proud of them. My Yari Samurai, they just don't get enough love. They're always relegated to support and are never the headliners. And let's just take a moment to honor all the Yari out there that are constantly watching our backs and keeping us safe from cavalry and taking shots for the katanas. Just what heroes, modern day heroes, or Sengoku era heroes, but whatever. His general's getting cut down. No problem. Battle's over. I mean, they're all routed. I'm all in perfectly good shape. I've only lost 3 units. This is just going to be a massacre at this point. His fire rockets have also shattered. He was over. His fire rockets were over here by the workshop trying to neutralize it. I guess you might as well if they don't have any ammo. But still, wasted his fire rockets. Should have saved him for the cavalry, especially the general. They can just destroy generals even in one shot. There's his general. I wonder if anybody's going to kill him. They're wavering. This guy's got a pretty buff general. They haven't shattered. You think they'd shatter at this point, but being surrounded on all sides, getting cut down all over. But nope. So let's just watch the victory. There we go. There's the shatter. And there's the battle. I lost... Let's see, how many guys did I lose? I think I lost about... no more than 600. I think it was about 600 out of this whole army. So I hardly lost anybody. And I just massacred this this Matchlock camper. So that's how you do it. It's actually really easy. You might take a little practice getting your infantry screening right, tying down all the enemy, because there's a lot of pressure when those monks start shooting, and I know it's stressful. But individually order your units, tie them down one for one, spread them out as much as possible, and just tie them down, get them in melee so they're not shooting. So they're not shooting, they're near useless. And then once you get there, hopefully you brought katanas, but if not, I mean, anything will kill bow warrior monks, any kind of samurai really. Even Yari Samurai might be able to do pretty well. But Naginatas are great too. Anything. Just close that distance as fast as possible. Skirmish with bows if you got them. If not, no biggie. Because you can still win in melee, no problem. But just take down as many as you can with those bows. Screen with the infantry. Don't throw away your cavalry in a frontal charge. They might get cut down. Cavalry are good at screening too. You can send one cavalry unit to screen the infantry. Just kind of run them in front of the matchlocks, like back and forth. Just taking shots. Any unit will be good for a screen. It doesn't matter. If you have an Ashigaru unit, though it might not be good to use an Ashigaru unit because they'll probably rout right away. And you don't want that. You want them to make the charge, make it all the way to the enemy. So there you have it. Beating a Matchlock camper. That's how you do it. Thanks for watching, everyone.